Hello, listeners, and welcome to episode 168 of the Managerial podcast. And today we've got yet another special episode of the Hot Take series we've started running after Super Eagles games. So, of course, you all know yesterday, Friday, Nigeria beat the Lesotho team 2-1 in Polokwane in South Africa, which was a very interesting game. Please make sure you check out the review episode of the game, which should be dropping. Just check the channel. It will be out by Sunday at the very latest. Please make sure you check out the preview video for the game against Benin. Obviously, do or die affair, and it will be our last World Cup qualifier for the next 3 years. No more World Cup qualifiers till 2028. And I'll be dropping that video probably on Monday morning, just because I want to wait for the permutations of the Burkina Faso game and the Madagascar game taking place on Sunday at 8 p.m. So by 10 p.m. tomorrow, I'll know exactly where Nigeria should stand. Also, in terms of getting one of the best forerunners-up spots, or if that's even possible. But anyway, today is all about you guys and all your comments and all your hot takes about the Super Eagles. So thanks so much to everybody who put in a comment on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Twitter. I've perused them. My cousin Emeka has perused them, and we've got 30 of them to react to and just talk about them, which is a good extension of how the game went. So thank you guys so much for giving me your comments and your hot takes. Also, I want to say a big thank you for reaching 5k subscribers on YouTube. I know it's still very modest compared to like big channels, but for what we're doing and a passion project talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria, it means a whole lot. And I'm telling you, I've been on this grind since 2021. So to be here is really, really amazing, and I want to thank you guys so much. Any like, any share, any subscription, even just watching for 30 seconds, it means a lot. A view is a view, so I want to say a big, big thank you to all of you guys. So without any further ado, let's get into the hot takes. Nwabali needs to be calming down. Dude almost cost us the game. Why is Maduka not getting caught up again? Nwabali needs to know that there is competition. He then goes on to say, Osimhen is our best striker. Dude gives his all in games, and he needs to be calming down too as well. Akwadam's inclusion is a very welcome development. So very measured and fair take. So let me go through them one by one. Nwabali definitely needs to be calming down. We spoke about that on the review episode. Like I mentioned that this year he's had a few tricky moments. When you remember the Rwanda game and the way he was behaving like a hothead, or certain mistakes, or just things that have not necessarily cost us throughout this year. But you could tell there's definitely been a lapse in his concentration. Maybe by him thinking that he's the undisputed number one and nobody can take his spot. But we all know that that's not the case. Nigerians turn on you as quickly as they praise you. So please take your time. Now, the reason Maduka was not called up was because he's currently suspended by the Italian Federation. His suspension actually ends this Friday. So he will get back to being eligible for Udinese, and hopefully he'll get back to starting games in Serie A. So that's why Maduka was not in the game. For the November games, whether it's the friendly games or if we have to play the playoffs, Maduka Okoye will be back in the national team squad. And you guys know my thoughts. If a player is starting in Serie A, he's the best goalkeeper you have. Yes, Nwabali has not let us down. But guys, please, I'm begging you, stop judging Maduka Okoye from the mistake he made almost 4 years ago. Some of you don't like him because he's a fine boy and babes like him. What does that have to do with football? Please stop judging Maduka. I saw another ticket again today from some supposed reputable journalist saying Maduka is not the answer with all the mistakes he made. How many games has Maduka Okoye played for Nigeria since that game against Tunisia almost 4 years ago? Are you aware he's been starting in Serie A for the past 2 seasons and will be about to start his 3rd season as a starter? Like, let's be objective with this team, man. I don't like the way they cover Maduka Okoye. It's really, really disgraceful. So I agree with you that Maduka should definitely come back. So watch that. Osimhen is our best striker. I mean, this goes without saying. Like, no Victor Osimhen, no party. In fact, if Osimhen played every single game of this World Cup qualifiers, all 9, I think we would have qualified by now. He's only played 4 games. He played against Rwanda in the 2-0 win. He scored the 2 goals. He played against Zimbabwe in the 1-1 draw. He's the one that scored our goal in the 70-something minute before Chirewa scored that equalizer just before the match ended. He played against Rwanda, but he got injured after that. Rwanda defender just raked his leg for no reason. So that was his 3rd game played. And then he played his 4th game of the qualifiers yesterday, where he set up the assist for Akwadams, while also hitting the bar twice. Osimhen does not need to calm down. If Ronaldo or someone else did this to you, people will say it's passion. Now a player is desperate to see his country shine and gives his all for the country. He has not even played 50 caps. Already the second top goal scorer in our Super Eagles history. Do you realize how amazing that is? All the players that play for Nigeria, Yakubu, Obafemi Martins, Shego Odegbami, Kanu, everybody that has played for Super Eagles, nobody has scored more goals than Osimhen, except the great late Rashidi Ekini, may so rest in peace. Look, if Osimhen is determined and he feels the need to call those players, they should listen to him. This is a team that managed to draw 2-1 against Lesotho after they did the hard work to be 2-0 up. So if someone needs to look them in the eye and stop this nonsense chat that Ekon come and tell us that, oh, we are prepared well, where our mentality is focused, Ekon can't talk. He will you will now go and do nonsense on the pitch. We will draw against South Africa. You tell us you are prepared well. But football does not care about your statements. If you deliver on the pitch, that's what that matters. So please, let's be looking at Osimhen differently. I don't agree with that he should be coming down. Let him continue playing. We need that desire. If the rest of the team had the same desire as Osimhen, maybe we'll not be here right now. But the game is the game. And Akwadam's clearance in workout development. I will urge you guys, please listen to my weekly episodes. We've been tracking Akwadams for 3 years. But with typical Nigerians, you only watch Premier League. You now watch Nigeria. All of a sudden, Akwadam scores 1 goal. Now he's the best in sliced bread. Akwadam is a very good footballer. He was even an under-20 international. And I'll be honest, he has potential to really reach a certain level. You know, when he started at Montpellier, he scored 8 goals in his debut season before he got injured. And he scored most of those 8 goals in the first 4 months. His second season was a bit of a struggle because he was injured again. And then Montpellier got relegated, but they sold him to Sevilla in January. So this is his first full season with Sevilla. And we've already seen the workings that he has shown us in terms of his performance. So this is a superstar, potential superstar in the making. So let's see how it goes. What exactly do we want to go and do at the World Cup? Question mark. Look how we struggled defending basic aerial balls today against Lesotho with an average height of 5'9" probably. The thought of this lot facing a Haaland or an Isak made me chuckle. They'll use us to set records. This is why I say everybody should watch international football. Guys, go and watch Sweden's current qualification for the World Cup. Sweden are not going to the World Cup. They are so useless. They have 1 point from all their games so far. So let's stop using Premier League mind to judge these our teams. Isak is not smelling the World Cup. Gyökeres is smelling the World Cup. But I understand the overall point you're trying to make. Even Haaland, Norway about to make their first tournament since 1998 World Cup. Or the 2000 Euros. I'm still not sure they played 2000 Euros. So those are not the players I'll use to say what you're trying to say. But I understand the frustration in your statements. You're just saying what we're going to do in the World Cup. All I will say is, a year or even months is a long time in football. When you look at the World Cup, we're in October now. That means the World Cup starts in June. So we have, 8 months till the World Cup? A lot of things can change. We have an AFCON to play in December. And I always like when Nigeria gets to play tournaments where they can all be together, because that seems to be the only moments where we can get some cohesion in our team. We see how Nigeria play AFCON. Out of all the AFCONs we've got a medal in every single AFCON except 3 or 4. You know, 2008 we lost in quarterfinal. The Maduka mistake that we lost in the round of 16, and I think in the 80s we went out the group stage 1 time. But Nigeria always finished first, second, or third for a reason. So AFCON may end up being a blessing in disguise. So while I understand your frustration, I think that cohesion and moments where the team can be together will actually be a benefit for us. But of course, it's not in our hands. If we get to the World Cup, we'll face the music. But I'll be honest, as long as Victor Osimhen plays, I'm still confident of Nigeria against any team. Osimhen, Lookman. Lookman right now, you watch yesterday, is not the Lookman you see in the summer. And there's no kind of motivation like the World Cup after missing the last one. Yes, we need to get our affairs in order, but I'll just say June is a long time, and we probably may not make it. But if we do, I think we can definitely show some workings. At the end of the day, you see where your group is and you see how you prosecute those games. But I understand the frustration based on the gameplay we've seen so far and our performances so far. So thanks for that comment. This coaching, please, you should do better. I totally agree. I think the last 3 games, Eric Chelle has a lot to answer for in terms of his coaching. He came to the Super Eagles General and told us that he's an attacking coach and he wants to see attacking football. We have not seen Nigeria consistently dominate a team in any game. Even this last game, South Africa, we needed to win. Second half, how many chances did we create? He played Desert when he should have played Arokodare. Now, yesterday, he played Arokodare to play alongside Osimhen. So the gap between the midfield and the attack was so big that there was nobody connecting the midfield to the attacking lines. And we struggled to create chances in the first half. In a must-win game. And now we beat Lesotho 2-1. Lesotho. It's so disgraceful. So I agree with you, man. Eric Chelle is on the clock. In fact, there's a world where I even think that regardless of how Eric Chelle performs this next match, and maybe AFCON because it's too close, we should reevaluate his contract at the start of next year based on how he performs. But he has a lot more to show because he keeps getting selections wrong. He will now make some decent subs and try and rectify the situation. But for a team of talent of Nigeria, which is by far the most talented team he's ever handled as a manager, we're not seeing enough for us to be confident and be sure of the way he's prosecuting the games and platforming the Super Eagles. So I agree with you on that one. We will not qualify, I swear down. Who won't bet? Look, we already know. I understand the negativity. Even me, based on what we saw against Lesotho, I don't think we're going to beat Benin Republic, to be honest. Because if we needed the penalty to get a game breaker against Lesotho, and we beat Lesotho 2-1 and made mistakes, Benin Republic will punish us. They're the only team that have beaten us in the group so far, and they beat us with no... Obviously, we scored first, but we cannot complain that they did not deserve to beat us under that Finidi George game. Yes, Osimhen did not play, but Osimhen is my only hope for us to get any good result against Benin Republic. So I understand the sentiment. And let's be honest, we've put ourselves in position. If you draw with Zimbabwe twice, you draw with Lesotho once, you draw with South Africa twice, you only have yourself to blame and you lose to Benin. Till today, we've only won three games in the group. So I understand that sentiment. So, like I told in one of the live streams and last episode, I've made peace with the fact we're not going to the World Cup. But if we somehow make it, it don't happen. So watch out for the preview episode. I'll mention exactly the permutations for second place as well. But thanks for that comment. Nwabali should be replaced. He needs to sit down on the bench. I just spoke about that. Look, I hope it's a moment of reflection for him because for the most part he's done well for Nigeria when he's played. And he saved us from the Uzo Wahala. But guys, please, I track Maduka every week. Stop judging this boy from 4 years ago. You do not start for Udinese by accident or start in Syria by accident. Even Eyama, most of his career until he played for Lille, he was not a starting goalkeeper in a top 5 league. So please respect Maduka and let's see what goes on. These guys won't qualify. I already spoke about that, so we'll see. Watch out for the previous episode and the permutations. Ekon shouldn't start a game for us again. Likewise, Moses Simon. They are old. Nwabali needs a good competition. The guy done today comfortable. We already spoke about Nwabali, so no need to rehash that, but I understand the sentiment. Ekong shouldn't start the game for us. Let's be honest, Ekong is past his best, we understand. But Shemi Ajayi is not one of the better defenders that we have in the Super Eagles either. And I do not understand why they decide out of all the centre backs, Shemi Ajayi you go and call up. It does not make sense for me. Yes, Igor Ogbo is injured. But I would have preferred that they called an Emmanuel Uchenna from Sparta Prague 21 and can build towards the future and 2030 World Cup. Or even this Chibuke Nwawu guy that plays in Austria at the moment. You know, there's Tonoriga. I think Tonoriga might be injured at the moment. But Awaziem was not called up. If Awaziem was in this squad now, it would have allowed us to play Benjamin Frederick and Bassi in the center of defense. We watched Awaziem play as right back in the 2019 AFCON. So we cannot say Awaziem could not do it. He's not a natural right back, but I think he's definitely better than what we're going to end up doing. Because now, all of a sudden, because Frederick has to play right back, because Eric Chelle decides that he's not going to call up a replacement right back, we're now in a position where Semi Ajayi or Trustekong have to play alongside Bassi. And let's be honest, Benin will not be as forgiving as Lesotho. If we can make those kind of mistakes against Lesotho, Steve Mooney scored the winning goal against us. We will have quite a few players of Nigerian heritage playing for them, whether it's Tosin Ayegun, Junior Lighton, and they have some really good players. There's a guy, Hutunonji. He's playing well for St. Pauli in Bundesliga. So it's going to be a very interesting one to see how Nigeria performs against these guys. So thanks for your comments. Just finished 2-0 and let's go, in my opinion. The one goal we consider is very bad, honestly. I've rehashed this Nwabali mistake and honestly it's still paining me for him to make such a stupid mistake. I can't believe it. It's still paining me. But you know what? It is what it is. Let's see if we can win 2-0. But I'll be honest, on the evidence of what the Super Eagles have showed us, we've only scored 2 goals in all of our qualification games twice. Yesterday, including penalty, and the 2 goals Osimhen scored against Rwanda. So guys, I'll just say temper expectations. This is not a country that scores many goals at the moment. We're literally not playing anywhere near our potential. Yes, we have individual talents, but performance is not showing. So just temper expectations. But obviously, we'll keep hoping that they can score 2 and we'll see how it goes. Nwabali is a hothead. Coach should start Chukwueze ahead of Simon. Adam should pair Osimhen in the next match. I feel Chukwueze could be a good supporting striker if Simon must start on the right. Thanks for your comments. I don't think Simon will start on the right in this game simply because Lookman is injured. So Moses Simon will start in his preferred position on the left wing. I think we should see Chukwueze start as a right winger because we don't have any other right wingers. And it's not Olakule Olusegun that plays for the 15th out of the 16 teams in Russia that will come and change our lives. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe he might come and do something, but it's very, very unlikely. He also said Nwabali is a hothead. We are very aware. I remember he has given us 1 yellow card. At the moment, there's a world where fair play may come into play. At the moment, Benin have 14 yellow cards in their 9 games. Nigeria have 13 yellow cards in their 9 games. So if we can just beat Benin, even if it's 1-0, and make sure we don't get any yellow cards or more yellow cards than them, we will qualify above them. But Nwabali needs to take time because he got a unnecessary red card, a yellow card against Rwanda. So let's see what happens. I see what you say about Chukwueze as a boy striker because I know he played as a cam in one of the Unity Cup games. But I think in this game, honestly, Benin are not going to be as kind as Lesotho if we leave our midfield that open. I will bring Onyeka into the squad. Play Onyeka and Didi, let Iwobi play up the pitch. I hate the way we keep misprofiling Iwobi. Iwobi is an attacker, not a box-to-box player. You see him play well for Fulham, he'll come to Nigeria, they'll pack him in the middle with Didi. It does not make sense to me. So let's see anyway. One of my faves, always supporting the channel. God bless you. You've been there from the start. She said, Lookman has tried throughout this entire qualifying cycle to prove why he deserved CAF Footballer of the Year award. I love these statements. That's a perfect hot take. The truth of the matter is, Lookman has had a terrible 2025 for the Super Eagles. He had an amazing 2024 last year, played well in AFCON, was African Footballer of the Year, played well for his club. But 2025, you can see that trying too hard gimmick going on. It's clear that he has a great relationship with Victor Osimhen, which Pesero was able to harness. But so far, we've not seen Eric Chelle know how to platform Lookman properly with Osimhen. We watched South Africa where Lookman and Visaya were hugging. Lookman and Simon were hugging the same positions on the pitch. Then yesterday, it was just a case of trying too hard. You could tell he wanted to just make things work, but he was not playing with the free flow state he needs. To the point where he even got a yellow card. But make no mistake about it, if we're going to get to the World Cup or do anything in the World Cup if we get there, or do it in the AFCON, we need Ademola Lookman fit and firing. And he will get better now that he's starting games for Atalanta again. So thank you so much for that comment. Chukwueze and Cam will be lit. I'm not sure, man. You guys, I think guys always want things to happen that are not realistic. Chukwueze has never played well as a Cam that well. He played one time in Unity Cup as Cam and did okay. Now we think that Chukwueze plays Cam is Benin's big midfielders that he will play well against. It's not like that. If we play any Cam in this game, it's Iwobi that will play there. We should have got Ebereze, but we not. Ebereze is right. He's happy to collect bench for England or not play games. I know he'd not even played friendly against Wales. So that one is job of NFF. Someone came to train for you when he was 17. The game is the game. I even saw him one day in a comedy show in London. I told him he was supposed to be our GG. But while he's not there, Iwobi is still our most creative midfielder. If he doesn't play Iwobi, play Chris Antuche. But guys, I must warn you guys, watching Chris Antuche last year, Chris Antuche played as a striker the whole of last season for Getafe, not Cam. Yes, he can play second striker because he played with Bojan Mayoral. So the same way Akko Adams played well off Osimhen yesterday, Chris Antuche can play as a second striker. But if you're looking for a pure Cam to create chances, Iwobi is still our best bet, but it needs to be performed correctly. So let's see what happens with that one. Bro, what happened to Nwabali yesterday? That was too much. Honestly, I understand all the fear. Nwabali, now you do this one, everybody only comment about you. That match was a must-win for us. Even if we do not top our group, most likely we will, in brackets. The probability of us being one of the best runners up for the playoffs pretty high. You're right, but like I said, please look out for the preview episode. I'll be giving the permutations we need to go above a Burkina Faso or Madagascar as one of the best second place teams. I do think that for Gabon, Cameroon, and DR Congo, it's likely they will finish as one of the best 4 spots already, based on the points they have so far or the final games they have to play. Gabon are already in there. Cameroon's final game is at home against Mauritius or Eswatini. So they're going to win that game. And they're only going to deduct 4 points from Cameroon because they drew against Eswatini. So Gabon and Cameroon are there. DR Congo beat Togo yesterday, which means all they need to do is beat Sudan at home. It's going to be a tough game because Sudan have Kwesi Appiah as a good coach. But Sudan have nothing to play for except prepping for AFCON. So I would say those 3 teams are there. But we'll be sure to bring the permutations of what's going to happen with Burkina Faso. Because if Nigeria win, Nigeria and Burkina Faso will finish on the same number of points after the points deductions. So it's all about goal difference and how much Burkina Faso beat Ethiopia tomorrow. But Madagascar, on the other hand, go to Bamako to play Mali away. If they do not win in Bamako, we will finish above Madagascar no matter what. But Mali cannot finish in second place anymore. So what does their motivation look like? Are they going to play well for pride because they still have an AFCON to prosecute? Mali might be the most disappointing national team in Africa in terms of talent versus qualifying for World Cups. They're so bad. But let's see. Because if Madagascar win, Madagascar will get one of those spots. Even above Burkina Faso, no matter what. So let's see what going on. Chelle needs to play multiple goal scoring tactics. I agree. In general, we need to see more workings from Eric Chelle around his tactics. And, showing some ingenuity to start the game. Start the game well. Stop being like Unai Emery. I'm an Arsenal fan. I remember Unai Emery's time. First half, you play nonsense. You now rectify second half and one praise. It don't work like that, my brother. Do the right thing from the first half. I'm begging you. I echo your sentiments about Osimhen's perceived attitude. She then goes, I've always just seen him as a passionate player. But people act like he's a bad guy. His teammates seem to love him. Then she goes, Rafael Edika is Nigeria's long-term solution at DM. Any midfield with Ndidi, Oyeka or Yusuf will struggle to be progressive. Then she said, Lookman has sadly flopped during World Cup qualifiers and a shame that was suspended versus Benin. We just spoke about Lookman and, of course, where he needs to improve. And he may be best in disguise that he's not going to play the game as Benin because Simon will play on the left wing and Chukwueze will play on the right wing. I do agree with you about Rafael Edika. I think he's our best midfielder. Regular in the Champions League, playing well for his club, playing well in Champions League games, and he's due a very big move. This is another thing about Eric Chelle. Eric Chelle saw Onyedika in the September games did not give Onyedika 1 minute against South Africa away or Rwanda at home. And this is why I'm telling you that Eric Chelle is under the clock because he's not platforming our best players. Now, what you said about Osimhen, I agree with you that he's just a passionate player. He's not a bad guy. You guys are such hypocrites. If a star player is playing well now and he's showing passion, you say it's passion. Osimhen is demanding better from his team. You are saying that he has attitude. What kind of rubbish is that? But thanks for echoing the sentiment that Osimhen is still the guy. Osimhen is the most popular player for Nigeria by far. It's not even close. By far. Get behind him. Okay. In fact, I think he should be made Super Eagles captain. Immediately AFCON ends, make him Nigeria captain. Immediately. If not before AFCON, save. Tell Ekong to go. But we need Ekong for the leadership a little bit. So guys, please, let's be guided about Osimhen. Please, we need a new keeper and we are in dire need of a midfielder ASAP on through balls for the attackers. Yes, we need more attacking talent. I've mentioned this. I think there's a world where we're also sadly missing out on Fisaya Delibashiru being in this team. I think he could have made a difference. Also, when you look at dual nationals, CAMs, there's a world where you could still go and get a Kanichiko Emeka. I don't think he'll ever play for England, but he's not really looking or positioning for his career. And to be honest, I don't like these players that wait till they're 25 to come and declare for Nigeria. Unless you're Lookman, you've won African Footballer of the Year, we can accept you. But I don't like all these people that wait till they think is not a possibility, then come. But we do have a creativity problem. Imagine we had Easy. We'll be creating, but it is what it is. Goalkeeper, I already spoke about Maduka. Please, let's respect Maduka. Shout out to one of our most loyal listeners and followers. God bless you. She said the disqualification of Lookman will be a blessing for Nigeria in the last game versus Benin. He has no drive. Just to say that one. That one is... I know she can be a bit harsh with the words, but that guy say Lookman has no drive. We've seen him do well for Nigeria, but I get what she's trying to say. We can introduce Osimhen later in the game. He's struggling physically, and although he assisted a second goal, it does not look convincing at all. I think that's an Eric Chelle issue. We watched Osimhen, not even fit, dominate Liverpool's backline with Van Dijk and Konate for almost 80 minutes in the Champions League. There's no world where Osimhen should be introduced in second half in a must-win game. No Osimhen, no part in the Super Eagles team, I'm telling you. That's the honest truth. Let him do well for 60 minutes, then take him off, if we must. She then goes on to say our midfield needs to be changed. Though it will be tried long shots on target versus Lesotho, but Ndidi and Simon were not effective. I agree. Nwabali should also be benched. We know that one. Maduka is coming. Our captain Ekong struggles against pacey forwards, and all other teams know that. So Benin will capitalize on it. Ekong at some stage in the future will coach our team and he'll do very well, but not as a player. I know what you mean about he could be a potential coach, I hear you, but I do agree that Ekong will struggle a lot against the Benin attackers. I will personally play Semi Ajayi because Benin star striker Steve Mounier is very good in the air. And if there's one thing Semi Ajayi is good at, is in the air. He's not good on the floor, but in the air, Semi Ajayi can nod the ball. So let's see what happens in that game. Thanks so much for the comments. We need high pressing and also more interplay in the attacking phase. Teamwork makes the dream work and use the striker strengths. Drop Ekong, he served well, but we need more paces, CB. Thank you so much for these comments. I wish I could send it directly to Eric Chelle, because I don't know what he's doing. We do not press. We do not push higher up. We do not squeeze the opponents. And we do not know how to dominate possession. The creativity is so poor that honestly, anything we get on Tuesday, we have to accept. But I totally agree with what you're saying. So let's see. I think they should play Shemia Jai as well. So let's see on that one. The ball reading of our players is worrying, with many misplaced passes throwing away many dangerous situations. I agree. I don't know if it's panic. I don't know if it's pressure. I don't know what it is, but the amount of misplaced passes I saw yesterday was really worrying. And we couldn't even blame the pitch. It was a good pitch. So what is it? Is it Eric Chelle's setup? Is it what he's telling the players? I can't really tell for the life of me why this is happening. But the misplaced passes was a big worry for me, I agree. And I don't know what it is, but let's see if it will change or improve. Please, the coach excuse Nwabali and Trust in the next and only last match on Tuesday. By honest advice, I agree with you on the Ekong one, but unfortunately, we don't have any other backup to play over Nwabali because Marika Okoye is not in the squad right now. His suspension ends next week. I will not play Adebayo, Adeleye, or Masobasogi against Benin Republic. Everybody should be preaching and speaking to Nwabali right now so that he will fix up for Tuesday. But Nwabali has to play, unfortunately. Nwabali is a mess. Spoken about Nwabali. We know how he's feeling, everybody. Nwabali, I hope you see what everybody's thinking about you. Please redeem yourself. Please. We are begging you. You almost threw the whole thing away. And we will not even be doing a preview of the match against Benin if that Lesotho goal are entered to make it 2-2. So please take time, my brother. Take time. Take time. The Nigeria team should have a number of goals target for every match. The goalkeeping department should play someone else to avoid disappointment. Marika Okoye, see what you're causing again. Nigeria team should have a goals target. I agree with you. But as I already said on this episode, Nigeria have not scored more than 1 goal in World Cup qualifying. Apart from the Rwanda game, we scored 2 and Lesotho yesterday, and we needed a penalty. I do not see the attacking football Eric Chelle promised us. I'm sorry. Call me, maybe I'm being harsh, but I'm telling you, nobody can look with their kuru eyes and tell you that Nigeria played well against Lesotho. This is a team that Benin trashed 4-0, South Africa trashed 3-0 just last month, 4 weeks ago. And Super Eagles of Nigeria cannot beat them by more than 1 goal. It is a disgrace. It is a disgrace of the highest order, honestly. So, I mean, we'll see what goes on. Remember to watch the permutations that I'll drop soon. South Africa knows exactly what they are doing. It's a trap. They don't want to gather 6 points against last place Zimbabwe in case their Richard rule applies on the day. They definitely don't know what they are doing because the way the group is set up, there's a world where if they don't beat Rwanda, Nigeria and Benin could be the ones that will carry the first and second place. I do not believe South Africans were planning for this kind of permutation about Zimbabwe to enter second. In fact, I don't even think South Africa can end up in second place anymore. Because the only way Nigeria goes above South Africa is if they draw or lose on Tuesday. And if that happens, Nigeria goes above them, Benin will remain above them. So South Africa cannot really finish second unless Benin draw against us and then South Africa win. And then they can finish second. But even based on my mathematics now, they have how many points? We can get to 17, so South Africa on 15. So if the highest they can get is 18. Even if they minus 4 points from them from Zimbabwe, they'll go to 14. 14 points not enough to be one of the best 4 runners up. Even after they minus the deducted points, you need at least 15 to be considered. So that's an interesting take. But South Africa either finish first or they are going home. So let's see. Ghana, we can see the name. I'm just laughing my heart out. How can Nigeria be jubilating? Well, spell well. He said jubilanting after beating Common Lesotho. When you were not beating Comoros and doing rubbish in AFCON and not even qualifying for AFCON this year, with your former manager beating you with Sudan, you don't know. You are lucky that Semenyo and Co figure it out for World Cup. So go to World Cup, but don't embarrass Africa like you did in 2022. You people claim that you will beat Uruguay. They embarrassed you people in World Cup. So just take your time and focus on your country. He's now saying, now the result between Nigeria and Benin will definitely favor South Africa. No, it doesn't. This is because it's easy for South Africa to beat Rwanda. This same South Africa that you just watched draw against Zimbabwe. Ghanaians, stay out of our matter, please. We are rivals, but please, if you don't do research, don't come and comment. God bless you. Breaking in Nigeria is a big mistake, I swear. Anyway, you see the mistake you almost made. Him and Nwabali, between two of them, that communication. You can tell Nwabali shouted to him that he should leave the ball. Him too, he carried his big head and left the ball. When he can head the ball, he should just headed it away. And there'll be no issue. Nwabali is not trying to blame him. Two of them should collect blame, as far as I'm concerned. Afahim Hoke, shout out to you on the live stream, my friend. He said, just win. But can ESC prepare his team enough to get the job done? This next opponent is way better than Lesotho. I have the exact same fears, my friend. Chelle has not shown me that he can coach us successfully to beat a team that is either on our level or closer to our level. Chelle has only won 2 games competitively as a Nigerian manager, and they were against Rwanda and Lesotho. 2-0 and 2-1. So the jury is out, and I'm still, if I'm being honest, my head does not believe he can beat Benin. Unless Osimhen turns on the banners. So let's see what happens to him. It's going to be a massive game for him and his management of the national team. So let's see what he can do in that game. Chelle needs another goalkeeper and needs to find a crop of good creative midfielders. We already touched on this already, so thanks for that comment. We don't need to defend. Why bring in 2 defenders at the dying minutes? We are playing the game very well before changing formation and it almost cost us the game. He's on Nwabali. If it was 2-0, do you think we would have brought another defender? We would have probably scored even more, which we will not be doing permutation of our calculator. But shout out Nwabali, look how you have put us in Wahala. I hope Osimhen abused you very well and made you remember where you are in your career. Better level up or go away. Rubbish. At that handsome devil 0828, such a funny handle, but it's one of my regular watchers or commenters, so I appreciate you, my bro. People here raging on Stanley need to stop that nonsense. Nwabali is Nigeria's best goalkeeper to date. He only needs control his temper and lock up silly mistakes seems to make. He's solid otherwise. That's such a contradiction. You cannot say people should not rage and they should stop raging when he's just made a mistake. And then say he needs to lock up silly mistakes. It don't make sense, my guy. And also, he's not our best goalkeeper to date. Vincent Nyama play for Nigeria. Ike Shurumu play for Nigeria. Peter Rufai play for Nigeria. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? And based on club form, Maduka Okoye is a better goalkeeper than Nwabali. If you are starting games for Udinese in Syria, you are better than someone starting for Chippa United in South Africa. I do agree that Nwabali has not let us down too much, but this year he's been making some concerning mistakes, especially in the last 3 months. So I understand what you're trying to say. He needs to control his temper, and we need him. He's the best goalkeeper we have right now in the squad because Maduka is not there, but he better take time because competition deal. So anyway, thanks for that comment. I know there has been a lot of Frederick glazing already. But to God who made me, if he wasn't there, we wouldn't have won the Lesotho and Rwanda game. Also, people should stop abusing Nwabali. A couple of mistakes don't make him a bad keeper. He might just need actual competition to keep him sharp. I don't like this contradiction. If people did not forgive Maduka when he made one mistake, you people abused his destiny and his whole life. His whole lineage. So, don't now be... Oh, all of a sudden you have sympathy for Nwabali. Do you know how bad it would have been if that second Lesotho goal went in? The game is the game. Professional footballers, you're going to be open to commenting. Obviously, we want people to keep it respectful. But don't make mistakes and you will not get weird comments, you know. But I do agree on the Frederick praise. Like, what a composed young man. Even have to play right back, you know. Like, honestly, very, very solid. And it must be said that he's definitely the future of the Super Eagles defense. And long may that continue between him and Bassi. I think Bassi and Frederick should play as centre-backs for Nigeria for the next 5 years straight. Unless one of them dips in terms of their club form. But for now, it seems like we finally have a pairing that we can appreciate and we like and we can move forward with. So that's it in terms of the Hot Takes episode. I want to thank you guys so much for all your comments and for taking part in the series. Obviously, remember, we'll do one again after the Benin game. Hopefully, we'll be celebrating good news. I really hope it will be good news and we'll be celebrating and we'll be praising the national team that we somehow made it. Because, look, once we get there, we can regroup and figure it out. As long as Osimhen is playing for Nigeria and Lookman is playing for Nigeria, we have hope, you know. So let's see what happens. Remember to look out for the review episode as well. Watch that, the Lesotho review. And also the Benin game preview episode, which will be dropping Monday morning or afternoon at the latest. But I want to make sure we have those permutations ready so we know exactly where Nigeria stand before our game on Tuesday, 5 p.m. in Uyo. Thanks so much for all the support. I want to say a big thank you for helping us reach 5K subscribers. We are loyal. I'm grateful. I thank you so much. You make the fruit of my labor to be worth it. There's a time, for years I'll record these podcasts, 100 views, 150. I appreciate everybody. But honestly, I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support. So please keep the suggestions coming. We're always listening. Keep it respectful. Of course, I have a smart mouth. So if someone says something abusive, I will abuse you back. I'll be honest. But God bless to everybody. Thanks for all the support. And please look out for the episodes. And of course, look out for the live watch along on Tuesday, 5 p.m. versus Benin Republic. Until next time, I'll be your host, Oluoke. Thank you guys so much. And I'll see you on the next episode of the Nigeria Football Weekly. Take care and ciao, ciao. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and click the bell to get a notification whenever we drop a video. You can also find our social media channels listed below. And of course, up Super Eagles and Nigeriano they ever carry last.